Kozelek, the Great Distortion, the Butcher of Truth, an eldritch horror more terrifying than Lizzo's forbidden banana split. Kozelek's planar avatar is a titan of apparently humanoid anatomy, but with a massive tentacles in place of legs and a complex orifice in place of his head. His body's covered in eyes and chitin, and an arrangement of dark plates float above his shoulders and extend from his elbows. They're often described to be or to create dark holes in reality. Dark holes. Look at this guy out there with his complex orifice. Kozelek is the Titan of Distortion, a reality-slicing nightmare of relentless insanity. He changes the perception of reality, making it impossible to discern the truth. He twists loyalties, muddies thoughts, transforms emotions, and induces despair and panic, just like my ex-wife, dude. Kozelek represents themes of deception, puzzles, lies, mental domination, transformation, and experimentation. Sages call Kozelek the confusion of panic, the trap of enigmas, and the harrower of thought. So Kozelek first burst on the scene. He debuted as the Butcher of Truth in 2010. The Aldrazi Titans had this really striking frame treatment where the frame itself was semi-translucent. It lent a sense of scale to the cards, dude. This big monster looks like an eldritch horror cresting the horizon, impossibly huge, engendering megalophobia and fear. He's got no discernible head, dude. He's got that complex orifice, brother. No sensory center, just eyes and tentacles of annihilation. When this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices 4 permanents. That's absolutely brutal, no matter what format you're playing. Now, the only problem with this guy is that he can be chump blocked by a squirrel, but not for very long with Annihilator 4. We got some new art in 2022. I'm not going to poop on this, but it lacks the depth of scale that the more realistic art treatment creates. Fast forward to 2016 and we got Kozelek, the Great Distortion, 8 colorless for a legendary creature Eldrazi. It's a 12/12. When you cast this spell, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Also has Menace. Discard a card with mana value X, counter target spell with mana value X. Dude, this guy is a void as cryptic as reality itself. Now Kozelek grew up a little bit. He got the big back plates, dude. He's just lifting weights and stacking plates, brother. These plates are described as holes in space. These guys are just creating their hobby holes in space, dude. It's alright. This card got up to about $25 in 2021 in the year of madness, dude. The world at that time was beset by an eldritch madness anyways. Those 3 years, man, weird times. I think this price was scarcity driven. Along came a secret lair with art by Chris Ron and depicted a more symmetrical Kozelek with the characteristic random eyeballs and dimensional plates. This dropped the price to about $15. Now listen, dude, in 2023 this card's selling for about $2 right now on TCG Player, and I picked one up yesterday. In this wacky time with such a confluence of factors colluding to reduce the price of a pretty useful Aldrazi Titan to $2, you know I'm picking one up. Well, listen, man, this goes really hard than 99 of some big mana decks. I have one of these guys and I definitely needed another, regardless of color. By the time you're casting this, you've ramped up and need to refill your hand, and it lends some much needed control, adding a way to respond to your opponent's spells on the stack in a colorless fashion, which is pretty rare. Now keep in mind that first ability is a cast trigger, however, so you can't reanimate or recur it to achieve that effect. Cast triggers are kind of a mixed blessing. The nice thing is, even if you get countered, you still get the cast trigger, so that's nice. But there is a premium on that. That mana cost is pretty steep. This particular Titan can be reanimated if you just want a big beater with Menace with that third ability. The other version of Kozelek shuffles himself and the graveyard into your library. As a reanimator target, it isn't horrible, adds a lot of utility to that with that third ability. Well, if you look at the decks on Moxfield, you see a ton of combo decks centered on colorless combos using Mystic Forge and stuff like that. The fact that this is $2 right now, this card, is mystifying, dude. It's emblematic of the state of things right now. Nothing seems to be holding any value. The sets are on top of each other, dude. You don't have time to breathe. And spoilers, oh my god, have been absolutely blistering, dude. The Wilds of Eldrazi comes out in a few weeks. I don't feel like any of these sets are allowed to just kind of exist and breathe on their own. The Lord of the Rings just came out, brother. We're having to check out sets ahead, man. This is brutal. Honestly, how many of you are disengaging for entire sets? You know, there's no way to keep up with all this. I bought maybe $20 of singles from Lord of the Rings, and now I'm looking at crazy prices on reprint singles for the Commander Masters. I'm looking at some of these reprints thinking, geez, I should pick up a copy of, say, like Archfiend of Despair for all my demon needs, dude. This thing's 6 black for a creature demon. It's flying. Your opponents can't gain life. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. It's a 6/6, dude. This thing's like $7 right now. It was $40 a couple weeks ago, but I'm hesitant to pull the trigger because everything is getting reprinted into dust. I don't really need this, I want it, but I might as well wait until it's $2. If it can happen to old Kozelek here, I think it can happen to any of this stuff. Anyways, I'm glad this got a reprint for my big mana decks, dude. I'm not sore about it. I mean, who really cares? You know what I mean? These are all like kids playing cards anyway. Anything that's producing lots of colorless mana likes that draw back up to 7 effect. Refilling your hand on cast is really nice. I'm not sure I'd build a colorless deck around this big fella. The colorless restriction isn't insurmountable, but any strategy you're likely to build into can be accomplished better with other commanders with more colors. I have seen some people building Voltron with cards like Fire Shrieker and lots of ramp to use this big Galoot as a one-hit kill. That's not a bad strategy, dude. A 12/12 with Menace is a decent body to build a Voltron deck around. Anyways, folks, let me know what you think about the State of the Union right now. Let me know what you think about the fact that this card is $2. And be kind to each other out there, alright? Don't go in the comments on people's videos and spout vile, seething hatred, brother. If you don't like somebody, just go watch whatever you do like, right? I like comedy podcasts, right? I like Scissor Bros, I like Bill Burr, stuff like that. If you're getting all whacked out on $2 Kozeleks, listen, take a break and listen to some funny stuff, brother. Sneaky G from Better Commanders signing off.